Let's do car news of the week in 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. The first piece of news, most likely everybody has seen because the entire world has been gripped by virus-related news. So the first time there was something that wasn't directly virus-related and how auto sales have gone to zero, it went all over the place. And it is the Gemballa Mirage GT Crash that occurred in downtown New York City, Manhattan, 7:30 in the morning. There's various security camera videos, there was some bystander videos of this heavily modified Porsche Carrera GT crashing into some parked cars at a very high rate of speed. It absolutely demolished the back of this minivan. Toyota Sienna got pushed forward like 3 to 4 parking spaces, and despite the front wheels really not pointing in the same direction anymore, the owner still pushed it forward another couple of blocks. Obviously, it is mid-engine, so the powertrain is in the back. Before it finally came to a stop, the police came. Allegedly, the owner, BC, Benjamin Chen, was arrested. I've actually followed him a long time ago. He had some pretty cool cars, and back in the days when I was in high school, there was this forum and website called L4P, and a lot of the Gold Rush guys are on there. It has some cool cars. Gold Rush has now said he's no longer affiliated with them. This guy has also crashed other various rare and expensive vehicles, including a gated manual Murcielago SV, and absolutely demolished the McLaren 12C also. Allegedly, he may have been on drugs and or drunk, and so that, I mean, it's an unfortunate piece of news. I don't want to go too much on about it, but the gist is don't do drugs and don't drink and drive. It's not a good idea. The second piece of news is allegedly there was a Cannonball Run record broken. I actually saw pictures of this brand new A8 before it went all over on headlines, and there were articles written about it in a Facebook group, an Audi Facebook group I'm a part of. There was a brand new A8 with these giant red fuel tanks strapped in the trunk. People were like, oh, and what if they broke the cross-continental record? And looks like recently there was an E63 that just broke the record. I'm sure you guys have saw a lot of that. And allegedly they took this A8 and broke it again. I think the time was 26 hours and 38 minutes. So that immediately sparked a debate. Is this valid? Is this the right time to do it? Obviously, the entire world has been kind of shut down. Society is on pause. So from a speeding across the country standpoint, it makes perfect sense. There's less cars out there, less traffic, less law enforcement. But that also invites some controversy. Like, is it a good time to do it? The world is in the midst of a pandemic, not really done in good taste. I'm not going to really go too much into my opinion specifically on it, and I just think it no longer will ever be viewed as a truly valid one. There'll always be that little controversy like, hey, is it really a valid record? But allegedly they did it. I personally don't have much interest in trying to do one of those. It does take a lot of time, determination, resources, money, but allegedly it happened, and we'll see if it actually ever gets confirmed and or validated. The next piece of news has to do with the Tesla Cheetah Mode. So Teslas have a really nice, it can actually upsides and downsides, but the upside is over-the-air updates. They can bring all these new features in. They unlocked more horsepower. The Model S with Ludicrous Plus, it makes over 800 horsepower now. The downside is with over-the-air updates, it can also take away features to you. But essentially what it did now was an over-the-air update has allowed more horsepower, and Cheetah Mode, which essentially lowers the front suspension and changes the damping and adjusts it for even better launch control. And additionally, this over-the-air update also helps some thermal management issues, so you can do launch control more times in a row without degradation of the power and performance, and more power, over 800 horsepower. Brooks from Drag Times allegedly did a 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds, which is crazy. I've been in a P100D launching it, and it's uncomfortably fast. So, I mean, you can go embarrass even more supercars. There are very, very few cars in the world that can match 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds, and Tesla has just continued to push it forward and forward with this Cheetah Mode. The last one isn't really from this week per se, but I'm really excited to talk about it, and it's the 2021 Genesis G80. So at this year's Chicago Auto Show, one of my favorite SUVs that I saw there was the GV80, and they've carried a lot of design cues to the brand new refreshed G80. It's on a new rear-wheel drive platform that's wider, longer, and lower. A couple of different engine options now. It's a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. Upgrade is a 3.5 twin-turbo V6 with 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. This vehicle is going to go up against the things like the Mercedes E-Class and the BMW 5 Series, and despite really looking like an Audi A7, it doesn't have a full hatchback in the back for the trunks as like a conventional one-dimensional one like we saw in the 8 Series. On the interior, beautiful open-pore wood, the latest technology, driver assistance features. I really like the direction that Genesis is going now that they've spun off from Hyundai, and the new G80 is one of the most exciting cars from them that I've seen, and I really, really want to drive one. And we have 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's car news in 5 minutes.